Hey, what's up everybody? Chris here with another Proto Tech Tip, and today we're going to dive back into SolidWorks to show you different ways that you can apply graphics directly onto your model. So let's check it out. So at Protocase and Protospace MFG, we revolutionize your workflow and simplify your part sourcing with the world's fastest custom manufacturing. Building custom sheet metal and machine parts and enclosures in 2 to 3 days, offering a full in-house one-stop shop for materials, components, and finishes. Part of our one-stop shop includes adding graphics for labeling or branding, which can be applied by either silkscreen or digital print. Now for today, I wanted to go over a couple different ways that you're able to apply graphics directly onto your SolidWorks model. So let's talk about the differences between the two, but first, let me open up SolidWorks. The first method I want to talk about is using what's called a decal. To access this, let's open up a SolidWorks part file. Navigate to your Appearance tab. Go to the Advanced tab and then click on Decals. You can then browse to select the file you wish to use. Once the file is selected, you can adjust the position, the size, and the orientation of the graphic using the mapping settings. You can then drag the graphic directly onto the model to place it accurately. Use the scale, rotate, and offset options to fine-tune the graphic's placement. Now this is a fairly straightforward way to apply graphics to your part, but this method is not actually the best for submitting your SolidWorks file and then to be manufactured. The reason is that if your decal image is not provided along with the assembly part files, we're not going to be able to access the graphics. It also isn't great for our graphics team as they're unable to retrieve the exact positioning of the file relative to the features on the part. This is why we like to caution away from using this method when sending in your designs. The second method that I want to talk about is using a sketch image. It's very similar to the decal method. First thing you want to do is open up your part that you want to apply a graphic to. Create a new sketch on the plane or face that you want to add the graphic to, and with the new sketch active, go to Tools, Sketch Tools, Sketch Picture. Alternatively, you can search for this feature in your command search bar. Browse and select your image file, and then drag the image onto the desired location with the sketch. Use the corner handles to scale the image proportionally. Use the property manager to adjust the image position and scale precisely. You can enter specific values for width, height, and position. If you're scaling the image, ensure that the lock aspect ratio is checked so that it maintains proportion as it scales. Now this method is pretty straightforward too, but it also faces the same disadvantages as the decal method in terms of not having great accessibility to the graphics file or any accurate positioning. So let's look at one final way to add graphics to your SolidWorks file. The last method that we will discuss is simply using the cut or boss extrude features. This method gives you the exact control over the position and size of your graphics. This method is typically strictly used for labeling and serialization. However, if you do have a DXF version of your logo, you can paste it into your sketch and extrude as well. Now for this example, let's go ahead and put some DB9 connectors on a flat panel. The first thing that you want to do is create a new sketch on the face to add labels to. Now once you're in the sketch, I like to use the construction lines to constrain where I want my labels to be. Now let's say that you want to place these labels about 1/4 of an inch above the top connector. I'll place a vertical line, snap to the center top of the connector, turn it into construction, and then place a 1/4 inch dimension on it to constrain the height. I will then draw a horizontal construction line, snap it to the middle, and place an arbitrary 1 inch dimension on it. Now I'm going to use the text tool and click the horizontal line for the curve selection. I'll then enter my text into the box, and let's use J9 for this example. Now from here you can edit the size and font style through the font button. Now once you have your connector label sized properly, it's time to extrude it. You can either cut extrude or boss extrude. Let's go ahead and use 1/1000th of an inch as our depth for a cut extrude, and that way the text contrasts on the rest of the part. After the extrude is complete, let's go ahead and rename the feature in the tree as graphics so Protocase knows exactly what the feature's for. Now we do have a few tech tip videos that we've released previously that covers great tips for applying graphics to your design. The recommended way to submit graphics with your SolidWorks model is to use the cut extrude features and DXFs to add the graphic, which gives us full access to the geometry of the graphics with accurate positioning. Now, it is recommended when submitting a graphics file to save it in a vector format and not raster. You'll get the opportunity to approve your models with graphics before your design enters production. Well, that's it for today's tech tip inside SolidWorks. I hope you found this information helpful. If you do have any questions or concerns with upcoming projects, please reach out to your account manager or simply send an email over to info@protocase.com. And as always, if you do like this content, please hit subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming tech tips released every Tuesday. And with that being said, until next time, take care.